Hello, everyone. Hi, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you guys are listening from. I hope everyone is doing well. What are you drinking tonight? Put it in the chat. Let's know what you are drinking tonight. For me, I'm having a Tommy is saying, hi, y'all. What are you drinking today? Yes, girl. It's like, what are you drinking? So for me, I'm having a new drink that I've never tried before. So if I hate it, you guys will know. It's called a green apple and Sprite from McDonald's with some ice. Did I told them not to put ice, but this is a lot of ice. I guess either they forgot or I forgot to tell them not to put a lot of ice in it. Ooh, guys, it's good. Mm-mm-mm. It is very, very good. If you guys have never had it before, I highly recommend. It is so good. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so today we have a few bits to talk about, unless something more comes up. So it may be a bit of a shorter stream than we usually do because there's not much to talk about. Um, so I will talk about some rumor about Tisha is planning to leave Marceau. So we're gonna talk about it. Do you believe it? Do you think it's all BS? Do you think it's a lie? Um, so that is one. Let me just say allegedly, okay? We don't know for a fact. We don't know what is the truth. Let me just put my banner up. Everything I say is alleged, in my opinion only, and for entertainment purposes. So everything we discuss here, just take it as just opinions. Nothing is being said as truth or facts or anything like that. Um, we're also going to talk about Kimmy, basically trying to let us know. So Kimmy was doing an interview recently, and she spoke on, the breast cancer, her experience, family history, and then she talked about Maurice. So we are going to talk about those things as well. Tisha is switching to mom identity now. Let me see if I can pull up her Instagram. Let's see if we can gather any interesting bits from Tisha's page. This is how you know I don't even really be going on Tisha's page. I wasn't even sure what her Instagram name was. Okay, so let me share the tab so we can kind of go through her Instagram together and see if we find anything interesting. Now, I hope, because I think these are pins, so these ones are probably old shots. So let's see what this one is. Okay, so good thing it's on. Okay, so baby Chris Brown brought the aunties out. So she was out with the girlies. She's like, I'm in my rich girl era, rich in memories, friendship, sisterhood, and blessings. Choosing AAMU was one of the best decisions. Okay. So, rich girl era. Okay. Sounds cool. Okay. Rich because I get to create every day. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see what the next post is about. Okay. So, a picture of her face. Okay. So, 2 weeks ago, she's talking about help me wish my man a happy birthday. And then he says, thanks, bae. Okay. Okay. So I guess they must be okay though. Because 2 weeks ago, I know people, even when things are happening with them, they still like, but 2 weeks ago, she still posted my man. I know, like, when things are going on in a lot of people's lives, they still would post like a happy birthday post to their spouse, even if they're not necessarily, or things are not good in the hood. Tisha and Marceau have so many hidden secrets. I won't be surprised if it happens though. Yeah, I will not be surprised, to be honest. I do think that it's sort of like it's a team at this point. I think that I think that no matter what happens, it's either they decide to stay together or Tisha decides to move. But at the same time, I wonder if she feels like she's been with him for a long time. Because sometimes when you've been with someone for a long time and you've made that like a whole personality for you, you've like made it a whole thing. You're always talking about like you're a wife, you've been married for this number of years. It's very hard to leave relationships like that because you've made that like your identity, you've made that a huge part and parcel of who you are, right? So I'm not surprised, or I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't leave him, because that's pretty much a huge part of identity. Because if you scroll a little bit, here is another picture of them, another video of them. Yeah, another picture of them, Black Nick. And then something else that shows both of them together. So it's like whatever happens, another one here, another one here, another one here. So it definitely feels like it's definitely given a lot of wife content, right? Even on her profile, she still says wife to Marceau, mom of this. So you can definitely see that like that's a huge part of who she is and who that's a huge part of her brand. So I don't necessarily know if leaving him, is definitely on the bingo cards. Although wasn't Portia Williams before she left that man out here saying, "My man, my man, my man." She was like, "Be his peace." So it's like, girl, she was out here talking about be his peace, and then the next thing she's filing for divorce. So who knows? To be honest, who knows? Avdallah says, my theory is Tisha is MIA because she has had a new procedure. Oh, plot twist. I love how Avdallah thinks because I feel like she thinks a lot differently than like some of us would think, because I did not even think about it, but you may be onto something. So she feels like Tisha is MIA because she's had a new procedure and she's recovering, or she's embarrassed by the latest photo with Marceau and the mystery lady, even if it was an innocent picture. Right. So, yes, I think your theory may be correct. And I think the second one may even be more correct, which could be she's embarrassed by the picture that we saw. Don't forget the way she was moving when that girl in the red dress from Ready to Love was interacting with Marceau. She did not like that. So I would not be surprised if that is part of it, and maybe she was like really really embarrassed by what she saw. So I would be like, yeah, maybe, definitely, I do think it could be two. But if it's one, I won't be surprised either, because maybe she's prepping for the reveal, the big reveal of the big reveal of like whatever it is that she has now done to herself. But we'll have to wait and see. Al says Tisha is a poser. She does what she thinks is catchy at the moment. She's never committed to a project. Oh my gosh. This is an excellent breakdown of exactly how I think Tisha is as well. This is what I've always felt. I felt like if she feels like something is popping, a lot of people are doing, like, for example, I feel like with the products and stuff, she saw how Melody was doing well with the products and thought, let me do this. She saw how Stormy was doing well with the products. So she thought, let me do this, right? And then ended up copying was it shipping policy or whatever that she, or privacy policy or whatever of Stormy, and then she claims someone else did. Okay, fine, whoever, someone from her team did that, if that's what she wants us to believe. But my thing is like, you keep starting things that you don't necessarily have interest in, that you're just doing because you think, okay, it's the in thing, people are making money from it now. Have you met people who, once they see people making money from something, next thing they're like, oh, I'm doing this now? And it's like, okay, are you doing this because this is something that you want to do, or are you doing this because, these are the questions I have. So yeah, I just feel like It's definitely, you're right. It's definitely whatever is catchy at the moment, whatever is trending, whatever seems to be making money for a lot of people. It's like, let me just jump in, let me get this bag too. But the problem is like, do you have what it takes? Do you have the hard work behind it to make sure that you get this bag yourself? Or are you going to just, you know, give it a few days and then decide, okay, I can't do this anymore? Good afternoon, chat and CC. Good afternoon, CMAF. I hope you're well. I believe they are talking about Monkey Shoulder said that she's leaving her husband after the house is finished. Yes, allegedly. That's what it was being said. Um, I've never heard anyone say monkey shoulder, but that's funny. But yes, I feel like that's what is allegedly being said, that she will be leaving after the house is finished. So we are just like discussing, do you think she will definitely leave um Marceau, or do you think it's all BS? So Kimmy may be mad that Tisha isn't in the family after Tisha and Marcel get a divorce or separation. It will be a lot different not having her in the family. Yes, Lakeisha, I agree with that. And I think part of it is that, yes, Kimmy may be glad she doesn't have to deal with Tisha, because I feel like she probably thinks Tisha is a lot needy. I think so. But at the same time, I low-key feel like Kimmy will also miss Tisha, because if they then decide not to be on the show anymore, what then happens? Kimmy will have to be dealing with the folks by herself, because Tisha ain't gonna be there to be tag teaming people together. They're not gonna have that. So yeah, but I don't think Kimmy ever really liked Tisha like that. I think it's just, it's one of those things like, if we're in family, we're not gonna be friends. So yeah, I guess Kimmy may not care either way. But I do wonder if Kimmy's perspective has now changed with all of the things that she's probably also going through with Maurice. Maybe she would want a Tisha, so that at least you need someone that also understands what you're dealing with, because they're going through something similar. But who knows? Tommy says, but the cheating rumors came out. She's been quiet as hell. Yes, that's interesting. So let me see, when was the last time she posted again? I think this was the last post. It was 21st of October. 21st of October, and we are 6th of November. That is a while, especially considering she posted on the 20th, on the 21st, on the 17th, on the 15th, okay, on the 9th. So she seems to be one of the people that post quite regularly. Right. So it seems like she posts regularly, and then for her to just disappear and not post anything, that is very, very odd. You're right. So maybe it's been since the rumors came out that she's just been like, yeah, nah, I don't want to be out there. I don't want nobody, um, yeah, like I don't want nobody getting involved in the conversation or whatnot. Um, Click clicks and news says pick me's don't leave. Mm-mm-mm. She ain't wrong. Pick me's do not leave. They will do everything but leave. So yeah, she may never leave. Evening Bajan. Evening. How are you? Um. Okay, so Tommy is saying we have only 40 likes and we have over 50 people in the chat. So please, let's let's at least hit about 50 likes, guys. Please. Rasputia Jr. did say she was going to get a condo near Marceau Jr. going to college. Near where Marceau Jr. is going to college. Ooh, that's a sign. You know when people start to get their own condos, where they start to be like, oh, I need a man pad, or I need like somewhere where I can lay my head down. That's usually never a good sign. It's usually like, even if they don't decide to separate, it's given like, let's start separating things, let's start having our own thing, right? Let's start doing our own thing. And I wonder if, even if they don't officially leave each other, maybe they would start to like leave more of a separate life, maybe they'll start to live separate lives. And I noticed like I've been getting a few comments recently where people have been saying like they feel like they Tisha and Marcel allegedly live separate lives anyway, and that they just come together for filming and that kind of stuff. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. Um, what I noticed is something that I've been seeing a lot lately, like in my comments, where people feel like they're definitely living like separate lives, you know? So I found that very interesting. I can't believe you guys aren't liking this live like Tommy has asked. Tell them, literally, I need you to say it louder, Alf Dallas. Tell them. Make it louder because I do not understand how many times we gotta beg for the likes. Like the people, it's like at this point we need to start marking attendance. You walk in, one, you walk in, put in the chat, number one, number two, because I'm like, what's up with being stingy with the likes, people? Yep. Tommy and I are in sync because tell me why I said tell him when I saw Dallas, and then Tommy also says tell him. Exactly, tell him. Absolutely. Bajan says, remember the first season, she got the deal to build a hotel. How many seasons later, no mention of the hotel and what's happening with Scott Manor? Absolutely. I feel like Scott Manor is another She by Sheree. Scott Manor is definitely given, was it She by whatever her manor was called, but that manor took a long time to get built. So yeah, I don't know what is happening with Scott Manor, but I suspect she definitely wants to have that because I think that's also part of being able to have the lifestyle, right? So like you want to be able to be like, yeah, I got me Scott Manor in the end, because it's something that she's always wanted, right? They've always wanted to build that. So I think she definitely wants that. So she is probably like, I'm gonna get my manor before I leave. Lakeisha says, family or not, the scouts are not of scouts. Scouts are not even all that. Yes, yes, ma'am. They are not. They are not. What would be the point of leaving after the house is done? Why not just leave now? Do you know what? I thought about this as well, right? It's something that I really thought about. Why leave later? Why leave after the house is done? So I have like a theory. Well, maybe two theories. But one theory is maybe she wants a situation where she gets the opportunity to stay in the house afterwards, because if the house then turns into maybe a family home, the kids are then like staying there and I've stayed there for a while, then maybe she can argue that she wants to keep the home when her and him decide to go separate or whatever, right? So maybe that's that. I think it could also be like, sometimes where you want to get something out of it. It's like women who stay with a good for nothing man, but they'll tell you they're staying because they want to get this particular thing from them. And you're just like, why not just leave and you go, but they're like, nah, I don't want to start from scratch. I want to get this one thing that I've been waiting for him to do for so long. So I will, regardless of the time, sit and wait until he gets this done, then I will leave him. So I think sometimes there's also like an emotional element about it. I think sometimes women can be very emotional about the home. If you think about Portia Williams, Portia did not want Simon to get that house. And I can imagine because she probably put so much effort into designing it, she did not want him to get the house at all. So, because he said he wanted to keep the house and settle things outside of court, she said no, she does not want him to have the house. She would love to keep the house. And so I do think that sometimes, like, maybe she has gotten emotionally attached to the way she wants to build the house, the way she thinks the house should look. She doesn't want that to be built, and then another woman is coming into the house to come and be staying in the house. She would rather have the house, live there, know that this was her hard-earned work and effort that she puts into it, and then she can decide to leave. I don't know if that's what it is, but you guys let me know. What do you think? What would her point be of leaving after the house is done as opposed to just leaving right away? Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Do you think there's any point in her wanting to leave later on? Why wouldn't she just leave immediately? Why would she want to leave um after the house is done. Catherine says that's going to be Kimmy's Give Me storyline, her and Maurice. Yep. Kimmy and Maurice's storyline is just honestly every year I always wonder why are they still on the show? And I just think that they just need to remove them from the show because I don't think they bring anything. And thinking about the fact that the new storyline is going to be about sex, it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We've gone through the storyline before. Why is this another storyline that needs to be addressed? For goodness sakes. That is so odd. I would never follow a Scott or a Moore or a Leith. Lakeisha says Mel and Martha was still on the same show before she left the show, even when they were together. Yep, indeed. Tommy says not She by Sheree. Yeah, She by Sheree. She by Sheehan. I'm glad Mel isn't a Holt anymore. I'm sure she's glad too because she left that name and yeah, left that for Mr. Holt. That's why I don't believe the story of Dallas. I completely get because it's very, very, yeah, I know what you mean. It's very interesting. It's a very specific time. It's like what is it in it for her and why would she wait? But yeah, it is very, very interesting. The home is on the Scott family land, plus all the debit Marceau has is in her name. Again, it doesn't make sense. The home is on the Scott family land, plus all the debit Marceau has in her name. Against it doesn't again it why do I keep saying against? Again, it doesn't make sense. So the house is in so all the debts is in her name. Interesting. So why that's a very good point. So if all the debt is in her name, why would she then wants the home to be done? Is it because she's planning to refinance or something? I don't know. That's a very, very good question. Mm. Al says that decision by Melody to go back to her maiden name was such a boss move because MH would attach himself to everything he does post divorce. Everything she does post divorce. Yes, I agree. And I think also the fact that she had a whole ceremony for it was absolutely beautiful. And I remember how stunning she looked in it as well. I think that it was like, I am taking my power back. Enough is enough. And I was absolutely here for it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.